Okay, back for part 2. All right, the problem we just did, this is their version. Notice they came out with the exact same thing we did. But again, here's the given, okay? Here's the statements, here's the reasons. Okay, we're going to be doing a bunch of these. That's why I don't think it's so important to do this one. Okay? I love this, by the way. Sherlock Holmes, always correct, stated, or muttered, whatever. If a man has no servants, his shirts are wrinkled. If a man has lost his job, he has no servants. So what would Sherlock Holmes conclude from that? Okay, if a man has no servants, he has lost his job? Maybe. If a man has lost his job, his shirts are wrinkled. Oh, look at that. Because notice here, if a man has no servants, his shirts are wrinkled. If a man has lost his job, he has no servants. Look, servants are in both of these, so we could kind of like remove it. So if a man has lost his job, his shirts are wrinkled. What do you think of that? And a man with no servants has wrinkled shirts? Not necessarily. What if he ironed them himself? What if he's a married man and his wife ironed them? What if he lives with Mamala? And I would circle this. Okay, I'm going to circle it when I can, but we have le biche volondes. But now I can circle it. Go me. All right. Kiara states that if the ratios A to B, looks like a fraction, I know, we can read it A over B, but that if it's a ratio, it's A to B and M to N. If these ratios are equal, then it must be true that A equal M and B equal N. Is this statement correct? Explain. Well, I don't think so. I will tell you why. Let's say something is in the ratio of 2 to 5. Okay, so let's say A equals 2, B equals 5. Okay? What if we have something else in the ratio of 24 to 60? Okay? And I know those don't look like they're equal, but you can do it two ways. You can turn this into two fractions with an equal sign in between and cross multiply to see if it comes out equal, or you can reduce this. Okay? If I reduce this by 12, I'm going to change color. Okay, 24 divided by 12. Anybody know? Say 2. But right now I have the beach ball of death. And as soon as I don't, I will say 2. And 60 divided by 12. Say 5. So look, the ratio is the same. So, in our opinion, is Kiara correct? I don't think so. Kiara is not correct. The numbers can be different, but they can reduce to the same fraction or ratio. Okay? If that doesn't make sense, pause the video, write something down, ask a question, okay? Okay, let's move on. Moving right along. Okay, exercises 9 through 12. Use the 2-column proof. We are so not doing that. To solve the equation, refer to properties on page 5 as needed to answer these questions. Okay, now, but using your algebra skills, you got this. Okay? What does this tell us to do? The distributive property. All right, so we're going to multiply the 6 by the 2 and the 6 by the x. Everybody go with that? And as soon as we get rid of the beach ball of death, that's exactly what we'll do. Okay. 6 times 2 and 6 times x. I usually write the arrows just to make sure I didn't forget anything. All right, so we have 2x equals 6 times 2, we all agree is 12. Wait, where am I? Hang on, I have to fix something. Plus 6x, right? Yeah. Equals 12 plus 6x. Now, I know what most people would do, and I guess I'll do it that way, but I usually do it a little differently. I hate variables with negatives, so I usually do an extra step, which is fine. Okay, minus plus 6x, I lied. So I know most people would subtract 6x from both sides, and that's totally fine. I guess that's what I'll do right now. Okay, and then I'm going to simplify. So I get negative 4x equals 12. Everybody with me on that? Okay, and 12 divided by negative 4, x is equal to negative 3. But now you notice, we're talking about what we do at each step. That's kind of like a proof. I did this and I did it because. Okay? Okay, exercises 13 through 15. Use the diagram below and the theorems you've learned thus far to create a two-column proof to find the value of x. Okay, so what do we know? Notice that AOD is a straight line. Straight lines have how many degrees? 180. Okay, and they're giving us the measures. I'm going to let you try this by yourselves. So you're going to add them together, set it equal to 180, and solve for x. You're going to do the same thing in both of these. I'm going to leave you to do it by yourselves. Okay, and see what you get. Now, Teresa ordered a vase, or vase, however you want to say it, from a website. If the vase is cracked, then she will return it. If the vase is dropped during shipping, it will crack. What do you conclude? So what happens if it's dropped during shipping? It will probably crack, and then she will probably return it. So if the vase This is something similar to something called the transitive property, which if I didn't already talk about it, we will. Okay, because it kind of transfers the equality. Okay, if the vase is dropped during shipping, Teresa will return it. Okay, let's go to the next one. Which statement is logically equivalent to if it is cold, then we go skiing? Now remember, the contrapositive, where you switch your sneakers and put in or take out the knots, that's logically equivalent to the original. So here is our original statement. Wait for BBOD. Okay, this is our original. Oh my goodness, that's a straight line. We're going to pretend. Okay, and the contrapositive, these guys switch places and the word not goes in there. So if we do not go skiing, then it is not cold. All right, so the contrapositive, so the inverse would be if it's not cold, then we don't go skiing. The converse is if we go skiing, then it's cold. The contrapositive is marrying those two. Okay. Okay, and the final one we're going to do is important. I was going to skip it, but I'm not. If you text while driving, then you are unsafe. You are a safe driver. So which of the following can we conclude? Okay, if you text while driving, you are unsafe. You are a safe driver. So does that mean that you do not text while driving because of the contrapositive? I would say, I would agree with that. Okay, you text while driving? No, you don't, because we're safe. Okay? Okay, because remember the contrapositive, they switch places and they add in the word not or take out the word not. So notice this kind of moved over here. Whee! and the un was taken out of it, so that means we're safe, okay, then we don't text because there's no not or negation in here, so we had to put it in. Okay, so that's our answer. Okay, and that's it for this unit. Let's see you in the next one. Go on to the practice and the mastery.